Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. So, in terms of, I'm just going to get started tonight, I feel, in that kind of a humour. So, Judge Judy Slayer is now following. Thank you very much. I just realised I haven't got my ears in. Let me put my ears in. Where we're going to. Aloha, Maurice. How's it going? Where we're going to go tonight is we're going to try and fix a bug that we introduced last week in the Visual Studio Code extension, in the Visual Studio extension for Cake. Now we introduced this bug by fixing another bug, and you could hear the flying fox again. That's good. I would love to say, Maurice, that I fixed that problem, but I didn't. So I can only assume that it was a recent update to Streamlabs OBS that makes that work, because I didn't fix it. But I'm glad it's working. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Hello, Nils. How are you today? So yeah, by fixing a bug last week in the 041 release of the Cake extension for Visual Studio, we've actually introduced another bug. And I would like for us to fix it. Now, I know what needs to be done to fix it, but I don't know whether I like the solution that I've come up with, or whether we need to do something else. And Nils is saying he's a bit tipsy, so I'm not sure how much I can count on his input this week, because I was hoping he was going to tell me that this is exactly what we need to do. But the issue that we introduced last week, and we saw it as we were kind of testing things, was if I do. Well, I should look at what Maurice has put into the chat as well. Indeed, the Shia LaBeouf. It's one of the best gifts ever. I'll show it up on the stream as well. Don't do as I say for today, Nils says. It's one of the best gifts ever. And how many fingers am I holding? So the bug is if we click on this project and we click next and we hit create, then it attempts to go through the process and then it fails. Now it fails with a fairly specific error message saying could not find extension with ID. Boom. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you, if I go to this one, github.com/cakebuild/cakevs. If we go to the issue that I just created, then what's in the error message is this GUID. Now that is the GUID of the 2019 and earlier version of the Cake extension, when what we did is we changed that to a new unique GUID so that we could publish both of the extensions in the marketplace, even though we'd originally read somewhere that we should keep those V6 IDs the same. So the problem is this. If we go to the manifest file, no, not the manifest file. If we go to the template folder, now in here we have a number of project and item templates. But if we just look at one of the add-in templates and we look at the VS template file that exists, then what it does is it specifies that the NuGet package that this project should use, which is bundled within the V6 file that we generate, it should come from a specific repository ID, and that repository ID is the ID of the identifier of the extension that the package comes from. Because if we look inside the V6, I went looking earlier, if we look inside the V6 that we create, then there's actually a packages folder, and that packages folder contains all of the nutkegs that the project templates are making use of, and that's where they are installed from when the project is created within Visual Studio. So because we change the ID, I think what we have to do, and this is the part that I don't like even, I think we have to replicate all of these folders and create a new version of them and make that specific, this repository ID, make it specific to the 2022 version of the extension. So that's what I'm proposing that we need to do. And this is where the Tipsy Nils comes in and says, don't be silly, Gary, let's do something different. Now I know what he's going to say, and he's going to say that we should reconcile all of the project templates to use .NET New project templates. And ultimately, you are absolutely right. That is what we should do. But currently, we have got a date that we missed where we were going to get together and we were going to talk about all this. It was totally my fault. We were going to get together and we were going to talk about how we're going to do that reconciliation. Now, we haven't done that yet. And instead, we've currently got a broken extension that doesn't work for 2022. So I'm inclined to say that, yes, that's where we want to get to. But in the interim, until we do that work, because that might be a little bit of work until we reconcile the projects, how we want them all to work across all the different IDEs. So I'm going to suggest in this couple of hours that we've got tonight, I might do the work of adding those or recreating those projects and putting it in so that we can ship a 042 version of the extension that will work in both 2019 and 2022. And then we say that's it. Functionally, that is everything that's going to go into these extensions in their current iteration. Then we step back, we do some work, which is to consolidate all of the different ways that things work across all of the extensions. We get that reconciled across them all, and then we can start adding new functionality. So how does that sound to everyone? Because that's what I'm going to suggest. Because I don't think, the famous last words, I don't think it'll be too hard to do that, what I've just described. It's just a case of moving some bits around and yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, one thing I did notice as I was going through this, though, was that each of the templates has a reference in the csproj file to a packages.config file. Hey, Augusto, how's it going? Each of the template projects has a packages.config file reference in the csproj file, but it doesn't exist on disk. Now, I went looking through the history, and at one point there was a packages.config file, but it's since been deleted. So I think I'm right in saying that we should delete this packages.config file from each of the templates while we're here. So if there's no objections, that's what I'm going to do. But yes, let's create a new branch. So we're going to do git checkout -b hotfix. We're going to do a 0.4.2. Is that what I said? Is that what I added on to? 0.4.2. And we're going to take that from the master branch. And we're going to go in here and we're going to tidy up all these broken packages.config files so we don't replicate that into the new templates. That was that one. And then that was this one. Because the other thing that we need to do with all of these projects is to move them all to the new csproj format as well, because they've all got old ones. But that'll be something that comes with the move to the .NET New templates, if that's how we go. I think it is the way we're going to go, but that's a discussion for a different day. So Nils, on that topic, are you free at the same time as we spoke about this weekend? Because that might be good. So I'm going to say that that's a maintenance commit. So I'm just going to go in here and say, like I said, I do apologize for for not attending the meeting. It was completely out with my control. But that's the way it goes sometimes. And Maurice, I haven't forgotten about our date as well. We haven't set it at any time soon, but given what's been happening at work with the CCM release and all that sort of stuff, those things are freeing up now. So I still have that unread message in Slack to remind me to talk to you about that, but we should be able to do that soon. So fingers crossed. I haven't forgotten. The old ones are gone. The old whats are gone. What did I miss? Or what did I say? Here. So we're going to do this as a main commit, delete or remove. Cool. Okay, so let's do it at the same time, same day, this weekend, and we will have that chat. And then we'll go back to the rest of the cake team. We'll have to be careful what we're saying because Hush was in the room today. We'll go back to the rest of the cake team and tell them what we've decided, and we'll just do it as what I'm thinking about. Remove reference to deleted files. At some point, there was a packages.config file in this project, but it has been removed. So also remove from sproj file. Too long, so the 6 unread. No, I promise you they're still there, or at least one of them is still there to remind me to go back. It's still there, I promise. I could show you my. I've currently got unread messages from 2 people. There was 3 people earlier today, but I knocked one of them off my list. I have unread messages from 2 people in Slack to remind me to go back to them about certain things, and one of those things is what we just spoke about. So it's definitely still there. Definitely still on my to-do list. Yes to that one. So that was that fixed. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is that we go into here and we go into this template folder, and I'm going to create a new one, which is to keep things simple. It's not really that though, is it? What I want to create is a folder for 2017 and older, 2019 and older, and 2022 and newer. You know what? I'm just going to call them 2019 and 2022. So 2019, a new folder, 2022, right? So into here, I'm going to move these into here. And I'm going to move this one into here. See, I'm not sure if it's that simple, Maurice. I know what you're saying, but I'm not sure if it's as simple as that. And this, what we've come up with here is similar to what we've kind of went with the project. So you know what? I know what you're saying. I know what you're referring to. I just don't know if I like it. That's what it comes down to. But no, you're probably right. Let's do that then. So let's do 32-bit and I see what you did there. Why can't I replace that? Or why can't I rename that? I'm going to have broken stuff anyway, so let's get back to a known state. Let's get back to everything closed out. No, that's not cool. Okay, so in here, let's try this again. So 32-bit. Beautiful. $64, but we're not quite at that sort of dire straits yet, Maurice. That's later in the stream that we do that. So back over here, let's go into CDC, GitHub, organizations, cake. Has anyone played with yet? I was listening to a podcast on my walk today. Has anyone played with Bicep for ARM template generation? I was listening to a podcast and it sounded quite interesting, but I've not played with it yet. So I'm curious if anyone else has yet. This is where they all come in and say, yeah, I've been using it for years, but I haven't yet. Nils is saying sadly no. Okay, suggesting that he might want to play with it. If I go in here and search for template, then what's that doing? Oh no, that should be okay because it's still in template. Not me yet, no. Did you see my squirrel or did you ignore it? I didn't see your squirrel, Maurice. No, there was a squirrel. Squirrel incoming. I am currently printing this. No, I didn't see that. Hold on. I've got an ad coming up. Hold on. What is that? I'll bring it onto the stream as well. A lot of printing going on there, whatever it is. A Marmon truck HDT AC86 1973 print on Purza. I think. I'm going to stop watching it there. And we'll just watch it on the stream. What is this? There's a lot going on. Lots of bits. I'm assuming that's the tires. Look at that. I'm waiting for the big reveal at the end. Oh, hold on. I might have to speed it up just a little bit. Playback speed, let's put it up to 2. So I'm putting it all together. Amazing how much detail there is in that, actually. Are those tires going to turn as well? I'm assuming that's the cab of the truck. How long is this print going to take, Maurice? That. How? 28 hours in total. Oh man, even the doors open and close. That's pretty clever. Someone's gone to a lot of effort to put all of this together to the point that people can print it. I'm waiting for the big reveal now. Look at that. Oh, so it's this guy here that actually did the print as well. Oh, look at that. Did the tires actually turn? Look at that. Wow. That's very cool. Yep, Squirrel deployed. Squirrel successfully deployed. That's very cool. I like that. But yeah, this template path should still be found because it's got the double star there, so that should still be there. That's not one we're looking for. That's not one we're looking for. I'm clearly looking for the wrong thing now because what was I was looking for? Project templates. Oh, it's template backslash. That's why I can't find it. Template backslash. Where's my backslash on this keyboard? It's there, look. That's more of a Paul thing. But I'll have to. Let me take a look. I'll have to let Paul know about it. Fab365.net, is that his site? Or is that where you can just. Oh, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Is this where you can go and get what's the word I'm looking for? Patterns? Is that the right term? Is this where you can go and get buy the instructions for how to print something? Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Models, okay, cool. Patterns, models, instructions. This is a source, okay, so there's multiple. Very cool. So in this project, which is the Cake Visual Studio CS proj file, all of these are now going to live in, as we decided, the 32-bit folder. So let's take this, copy, paste, this, copy, paste, template, the item templates, we haven't moved those. We moved the modules, and then we didn't move the solution item. There was 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we did that. This project is now going to be, all of these references are going to be broken, so they need to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Those need to be updated. Add in template, that's that one, that one. Fix all of those ones, and then the solution one, okay, cool. And then for, now hold on, that was the solution. And that's fine, okay, that's the solution, yeah, that's fine. And then this one is a project reference to there. Right, okay, that was that one. 32-bit, 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 item template. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one, I'm going to paste what I've got on my clipboard, but this is going to become 64-bit. So this is where we need to duplicate it. So we're going to copy this, add in template, and then the module one, which is this one. Okay, beautiful. So that's all the references fixed. That should allow me to reopen the solution in Visual Studio, and it should all be working again. Then what we need to do is we need to go over here and we need to copy 4 projects I put into the 32-bit folder into the 64-bit folder. And then from there, we need to update some information. And then at that point, should work. We'll need to look at the generated V6s to make sure that they've both got the project item templates in there. So that looks good. Not found, not found, not found, not found. What did I do? Oh, there's two places in the solution file that I need to update it, isn't there? There is the... Nope. Why did that not get found? Template, 32-bit, add in template, csproj. Why did that not get found? Template. Oh, hold on. No, that should have worked. But it's also not really done what I wanted it to do. So let's do templates, add new solution folder, 32-bit, add solution folder, 4-bit. So then in here, we're going to add existing project, which is to be to here, C, GitHub, organization, Cake, Visual Studio, template, 32-bit, add in, and then why is there both a... I'm guessing that's normal. I hadn't noticed that before, but there's both a project template. I'm guessing that's okay, that makes sense. So add in template, we want it to be this one, I think. Yes. Yes. That's that one. Add existing project. Add in test is this one. Add existing project. Add in test. And this one, add existing project. Module template, this one. Fine. And then this one gets deleted. This one gets deleted. This one gets deleted. And then this one gets deleted. So then we come over here and we say each of these ones we're going to duplicate into here. And then within here, we are going to go away from the X-Wing. Sorry, Maurice. We're going to go to the issues. We're going to go to this one and we're going to grab this guy, which is the new GUID that we want to make use of. So we're going to go into our... Oh, that's why it didn't work. Couldn't save the file. Never mind. Never mind. I did think I was going nuts there for a second, but that explains it. So in the 64-bit folder and in the CS template file, we're going to want to change this to be this GUID. We're going to want to change this to be this GUID. We're going to want to change this to be this GUID. And we're going to want to change this to be this GUID. Okay, so we're going to save all of those. Right, so back in Visual Studio, I should then be able to do add existing project in the 64-bit folder this time. This one. Then add existing project 64-bit. This one. Add existing project. This one. This one. And then add existing project. This one. Okay. And then sanity check over here. This file should have that GUID. Okay, cool. So the thing that's missing is something. And that something is back in VS Code. If we close these files down, then over in the 2022 v6 manifest file, and then in this v6 manifest file, so in this one, this is the part I'm confused about. The part that I'm confused about is this one, the project name. So how can we disambiguate? Oh, that's a good word. Is that a word? Did I just make that word? I might have just made that word up. How do we disambiguate the project name so that in this manifest file it grabs the ones from the 32-bit folder, and in the other manifest file it gets them from the 64-bit folder? Now I can obviously just change the names, but I've just put them in folder paths. I prefer to use that. So can we do v6 manifest asset manifest designer? Oh, that is something that you can control through Visual Studio, isn't it? So if we were to go in here and look at this thing, there's an assets. So there is a project here. If I say edit, source, interesting. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not finding them because it's. So if I go in here and change this to 64, 65, 64. Don't know why I did that way around. If I put 64 on there, then save all of that. If I come in here again and do edit, why is it not letting me edit that? Oh, it's not liking something. Got a not responding on Visual Studio. Wait for Visual Studio to come back to life. Uh-oh. That wasn't me. Visual Studio just had a hiccup. See what happens when it comes back to life. So we go back to the Assets tab, we click on this, and we click on Edit. Now has it got, right, okay, so now it's got the other ones in it. Okay, so Visual Studio is thinking very hard about what you did, and it should. Hey Stevie, how's it going? So in our this one, where we have the project name, we can just do project name add-in template 64, item template, module template, add in template, add in template. Okay. So in theory, I think that's all we need to do. So, what are the chances? What are the chances? I'm going to build it in Visual Studio and see what happens. Rebuild all failed. I guess that's to be expected. Could not find a project. Add in template referenced from source. Please add a project reference. How nay? Didn't change you. Could not find project. Add in template reference from source.extension manifest. What does that mean? What did I break? Good to have you here, though, Stevie, whether it's listening or just hanging out. That's all good. I'm going to say okay to that. What did we break in the source manifest file? Item template 64. Nothing's. All the changes there look good. And the other file hasn't changed. Someone thought it was a good idea to look at Wix. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. I've got a book on it. Got a book on Wix. It's not my favourite topic. I'm the someone who says. Oh, Nils is a Wix expert. You should ask him. Nils fixed the Wix installer for Chocolate GUI when we added in the Net 4.8 requirement. Wix is a guru. Nils is a, sorry, did I say Wix is a guru? Nils is a guru at Wix. You should totally ask him about it. Oh, hold on. There's the problem. No, that's not the problem. Oh yeah, and I should notice, he did come on at the stream indicating that he was a bit tipsy tonight. So, yeah, maybe not the best night task. Why has this been deleted? Wix 2020. Oh, hold on. Right, okay, hold on. No, I see what the problem is now. So this has a reference to the project. Got the item template and the. Oh no, I'm so confused now. References. Cake.testing. References in here. Where did these go? Why did those get taken out? I'm not convinced that those should have got taken out. I also don't think that necessarily fixes the problem. But yeah, we want those to be back in again. So I'm going to reset those changes. And I'm going to reset those changes. And Visual Studio is going to have a hairy fit again. Nils is a bit tipsy. No, do ask now. I've got answers to everything today. That just gets the creative juices flowing. What is the answer? 43. Now you might think it's 42, but that was off by one. I see what you did there. So the references here should now include, hopefully, no? So, V6 subpath. So this here was add in. Oh, that's what we did. We changed all of those to be what they were meant to be, which was, why did it lose those changes? Or did I not save it for that one either? I bet I didn't save it for those changes either. So we wanted that to be here, that to be here. That was the add-in, item template we left alone, module we added that, and then the solution item template we left as there. And then in this one, we said project templates are going to be 64-bit, and then that one 64-bit, 64-bit, item, module, item, save that. Back into Visual Studio, we say reload again. Fingers crossed. Back up here, clean solution, and then rebuild. What does that do? Rebuild all succeeded. Let's do a build from the command line. Ooh, I should mention as well, I've been playing with code spaces. Specifically code spaces from my iPad, and some pretty cool stuff's happening. I've got it on my list to do a blog post. I haven't done one of those in years. I've got it on my list to do a blog post and a video about using code spaces. Yes, I did. So, to the best of my understanding, those things are slightly different, Maurice, in the sense that the dot will take you into a VS Code in the browser, looking at the current repository, but code spaces will give you an actual instance of a machine that you can run things on and have things installed on. Can I say that I hate that you all have code spaces? Is it not gone GA yet? I thought everyone had it now. If you haven't, I do apologize. I have code spaces. But yeah, I thought everyone had it. Because yeah, if you go up to, so what Maurice is referring to is if you're on this repository and you hit dot, then it'll take you to a web editor that gives you access to that repository to allow you to edit things. But what you don't get, because if you go up to here and go to view and terminal, then it says terminals are not available in this environment. To use a terminal, you will need to continue in another setup, which is to then create a code space of that location. So dot is good for kind of, I want to make a quick change, but if you actually want to run something and have access to the terminal, that's where you need a code space. So that's the distinction. So I think I still have to make requests, Maurice, to get certain things. Like I haven't tied out Copilot yet. I think I did add myself to the list, but I haven't done anything with it because I don't get that just because of Virtual on a Star. The thing is that Azure equivalent is gone and all the references point to code spaces. Oh, so all my old Visual Studio whatever was interesting. Okay, because I honestly just assumed that it had gone GA. But so you don't see this button here? You don't see this bit? I'm assuming. So you go to code and you can go code space and you can say new code space. What? How is this different than clicking the pencil icon? So clicking the pencil icon on something like a README, it's slightly, so you don't get the full, so when you click the pencil, you're editing a single page. Whereas if I go back to the top level here, then when I hit dot, you've got a full multi-file environment. So you could, if you wanted to edit the README, you can edit the README. You've got Visual Studio Code extensions. So any extensions that you would have installed, you can sync them between your locally running Visual Studio Code, and you can add additional extensions here. You've got obviously the preview that's happening here. All the things that you don't, you get some of those things. You get the preview in the single file editing mode. But one of the problems I always had was, let's say you want to make a quick edit, but that quick edit was to a couple of files. You would have had to do those as separate commits with the pencil icon. But if I wanted to edit multiple files, then I could go to github.dev, hitting the dot to do a multi-file commit. How's it different? My current go-to alternative is Gitpod. See, I haven't played with that one yet. Gitpod, I think I read that Gitpod is becoming more integrated with GitLab. So if you do GitLab experience, then Gitpod is going to be your equivalent. I'm just seeing your screenshot over here. Oh, interesting. So you don't have the second option, which is the code spaces tab. That's unfortunate, Nils. I'm sorry. I genuinely thought that everyone had it now. So if you were, so what happens when you go to? I'm assuming. Well, other question. I'm assuming that you signed up and put your name on the list. Is that right? Oh, sorry, Maurice. I'm assuming. Yes, sorry. I just saw the screenshot and I thought it was Nils that had. I forgot that he's drunk and he can't do screenshots at the minute. It was me, but I guess both Nils and I don't have it. Okay. And he did long ago. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, hopefully. I added. When did you do that stream? I added to the list then. It was a while back, wasn't it? Okay. Sorry, folks. So what I'm away to tell you then is not going to be what I'm going to do my video on is not going to be very useful to you at all. But that stream was a while back. GitHub.com, Get13, live streams. Is that what it's called? I think it was live streams. Maurice is probably going to get there before me. Race now. Code spaces. That was October 2020. I was wearing a different hat back there. Look at that. That's a while ago. Okay. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to put a video out soon. Watch the video, give it a like, and then just hope that you get access to it sometime soon. But where were we? We were back over here, and we're building the command line. And then there's another snippet from Maurice. Join the code and waitlist. You are already on the waitlist for code spaces. We will notify you when enabled in your account. Huh. Let me add this. Ask when code spaces is open to everyone. I can ask the question, and if I get a response, I will feed it back to both of you. And I'm going to write that down, that is Maurice and nils. I will ask the question and I'll find out the answer. So if we go up to cake vs and we look at dist, then we should have two things, and those two things are v6s. And then within this v6, we should have some stuff. And then inside this v6, we should have some stuff. If I look at this and look at this, then we look in the project templates folder, C# cake 1033. If we go in here and we look at this guy, then this guy should have the old GUID in it, which is 3CF, good. And then if we go to this guy and do project templates, C# cake 1033, and look at this guy, then it should have the new GUID, which it does. Okay, good. Maurice has pasted, Codespaces is rolling out progressively on August 11th, 2021, and can be enabled in settings by organization owner for team and cloud plan. For users on individual plans, we're extending the existing Codespaces beta. For those in the beta, access will remain, and we'll share updates on what's coming. So I had seen something. that was going open to everyone, but it means that they're still rolling it out to everyone. Okay. So I can still ask the question, okay, like timeframes, and if I get a response, I will let you know. Because it would be good if you could do what I'm away to tell you about in my video, because it's pretty cool. But anyway, so that works. So if I go into here, so I'm going to open up my 2022 instance, I'm going to uninstall the cake extension that's installed there, and I'm going to install the v6 that we've just built. And if I can now create a project template from there, we're good. So extensions, manage extensions, installed. So this is the official one. So if I uninstall that and close my instance, I hear my dog barking outside. I don't know if she's coming through on the mic, but she must be out for doing her business, just currently barking away at something. She's found her voice now, let's put it that way. She can bark quite loudly now, as some people at my work can testify to during meetings. Just sitting happily under my desk, just chilling, and then all of a sudden, bark, 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 bark. 14 weeks sounds right, Maurice, yes. So she's getting old, she's getting big. She's getting big. We had her to the vet last Saturday for like a monthly checkup, just to make sure that everything's ticking along fine. So she had that and she got the all clear. Got new sets of tablets and things, so all going on. Right, so we're installing this new v6 into 2022, and then we will attempt to create the add-in template that was broken before, and if that works, we can ship it, he says. But we should also go back and test the same thing in 2019, because we changed a bunch of things and moved things around, so we want to make sure that those work as expected as well. So if we go up to, where's that going to open? So let's go into 2022. Don't encourage me, Maurice. Don't. No, we would need to do our due diligence and run through some tests. So if we go open recent projects, which are the console app, is the one that I've been playing with. So if we go over to, let's remove some of the ones that we've made before. So let's remove those two. So if we go into solution and we say add a new project, and we're going to say a cake add-in, next, create. What does it do? Oh, gotten further this time. So I don't know why those ones didn't get deleted. Let's just tidy those up. Okay, so cake add-in 2.created. Packages.config file has been populated with the cake.core, and then it's got a reference to cake.core. Okay, so that part worked. So let's quickly test the other ones. So we're going to add new project. That was the cake add-in. Let's do the cake module. Oh, what? How is that possible? No. One of them can't work and the other one not. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Add new project. I'm not going to trust these things on the left a minute. Hold on. So let's do the cake add-in directly from here. Next, create. That doesn't make any sense. I literally just created you. Next, create. What have I done? One of these worked, didn't it? I didn't just make it up. So confused right now. So very confused. That makes no sense. So in this manifest, which is the 2022, it's got the references to all the 64-bit ones. Coolie it all again. What does cool? What? Tipsy one. What's coolie? I thought we did. Check it all again. Okay. No, I do apologize. But I checked the zip files. So let's go back to here. So in my C drive, GitHub, organizations, cake build, cake VS, in the distribution folder, in the zip file that is the v6 folder, if we go into project templates and we look at C# and we look at cake and we look here, so what's been copied into here is a VS template that if we look at that file, I didn't back up to here. If we 7-zip into here and we go into project templates, C#. Oh. I wonder. So this folder has the right path in it. Oh, so hold on. If I view this again, then this thing has got the right GUID in it. But what I'm wondering now is whether the manifest file, which is back up the way, in the manifest, which is the source manifest. Oh no, it's not there anymore. What I'm wondering is whether this folder path here needs to be called something different. If you see what I mean. Because what I did was I just He's a liar, Stevie. He definitely did. Definitely did. So in here, if I look at this thing, and we look at assets, and we look at this thing, then this project, no, you see it doesn't. So how about we take this one out? Let's delete that one, and we'll add a new one to project template. Source is a project in the current file system, and that project is going to be this one, and okay. At which point, see, no, look, it's put 64 on it. So if I look at that over here, then if I save that and we look at it over here, yeah, look, it put add in template 64 onto the end of it. But why then should the IDs match? I don't know. I don't know. Don't have an answer. But if I put 64 on here, and 64 on here, and 64 on here, then come over here and say extensions, manage extensions. But why did it work for one of them? That's the part. It definitely worked, unless I was imagining it. I think I must have been imagining it. Sure. V6 projects are even worse than Wix. I think that's true. I think I have to. I think I have to agree to that. Stevie's our new Wix expert within the company, though, so I don't have to worry about Wix anymore. Stevie's going to do it. Is that right, Stevie? I can hear him shouting from. Say, I can give you my book. I'll find the book and I'll send it over to you. Okay, so that's uninstalled. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to, let's nuke all these ones, because 7-zip's still open. Try again. Okay, so having done that, back into here, and let's do the build again. Let's build. Love it. if we do this, users manifest, please add a project. I did that. What? I did that. I really dislike all of this stuff. I thought I added the right project reference, but obviously not. And then where's the module one? Module one. References. Add reference. Projects. Add in. Nope. Add in 64, 64, 64, 64. Okay. Clean. Rebuild. Why on earth would you use PowerShell to generate a Wix file? What are you doing? In fact, I don't want to know. Don't want to know. Seriously, why is that not? Metadata file, then debug, add in test template.dll could not be found. Why are you even referencing that? What are you doing? Now hold on. Why have you still got this part in it? Ah, here we go, look. So, I think I see what the problem is. So, where we had the... Okay, I'm missing some stuff. I'm missing some stuff from the add-in template. So the add-in template was this one. So what I'm missing are these three things. Copy into here. And then the add-in template. There. This one. There. This one. There. And then this one here. Okay. Back into here. Reload. And then hopefully that will have solved that problem. Now if I do a rebuild, rebuild all succeeded, back to the command line, and let's see if this builds. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Still looking roughly the same size. So if I say project template, C#, cake, this one, add in template, and this one still has the old GUID in it. Good. So far so good. We go, if I close that and go to this one and say the same thing, we've got project templates, we've got extra files in this. I don't understand why we've got extra files. Cake, add in template, and then in here, this one is the new one. But yeah, if we do this and look at 7-zip, open archive, and then we look at this one and do open archive, then this one's got a bunch of localization files that the other one doesn't. I don't know what would have caused one to get one, not the other. That's maybe a problem for a different day too. For now, I want to double click on this V6. I want to re-add it. And I want to see if it now works. Install. I'm a little bit concerned that the folder structure still doesn't say 64 in the name. But I was sort of expecting this to say add in template 64 in the same way that this maybe needs to say add in template 64. But let's worry about that. You're not worried? Or you're not something else? So if we go back to here and do recent projects and solutions, open the console app. Okay, so solution, right click, add new project. So in here, I'm going to search for cake add-in and I'm going to click next. Okay, so that got created this time, and it's got a packages.config and it's got a reference to cake. So again, now that I'm fairly sure that's what happened the last time. So let's add another new project. But I thought it worked last time, and then it wasn't until I went to do the second one that things stopped working. See? See? So now, if I go back and do the add in again, this one just worked. Now this one's broken again. What's going on there? I'm so confused. It works the first time but not the second time. I don't get it. I'm gonna say managing. I'm gonna uninstall this thing again. Some extensions were automatically updated. Oh, hold on. Hold on. It updated itself. I'm fairly sure that's what happened. So that means that it was working before. So if I untick that and I uninstall it, yes. Close, close, don't save. What? Clean the damn folder. Which ones? That's not enough. Oh, okay. You think there's some residue on the file system from uninstalling and installing the extensions? While Mills is searching, I'm going to double click this V6 again. And I'm hopefully going to get into Visual Studio before it plans to do the update. Did you work in? No, this is a standalone instance of Visual Studio that I'm installing the V6 directly into. So then if I open Visual Studio, I'm hoping that it's remembered that that thing should be unticked. If we get in here and go immediately into extensions and we look at the installed versions, then we're going to say I've unticked it, hopefully quickly enough. And it's telling me that there's an update. Okay, cool. So there's an update available, but it's not going to get to install it. So now if I do console @1, then right click, add new project. Let's start with the other one. Normally I start with the add-in. So let's start with the module and we'll go next, create. Okay, look at that. The module worked this time. Packages.config file is there and it's got a reference to cake.core. Happy days. Right click, add new project. We'll search by cake and let's do add in template empty. We create and there we go. Okay, so I think that's what it was. It was doing some smart stuff for us and it was updating the project. I was updating the extension. So I was able to get the first project created and then it barfed because it had updated behind the scenes and it was going back to the newer version of the extension which has the bug in it we were trying to fix. So that's the add-in, and then the final one then, add new project, cake, and then the last one is the unit test project, I think. Okay. Cool. Okay, so all the project templates are now working. They've all got their packages.config files created. So if nothing else, we're now in a state where the 2022 extension works in the same way as the 2019. But what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go and test that we haven't broken the functionality in 2019. So for this one, I'm going to start an experimental instance, which is what Nils was referring to. So we'll start the experimental instance for 2019, make sure that the project templates work there, and if they do, we'll ship it. I think we're good. We've got like 40 minutes left, so I think that's enough time to make it all work. Oh, hold on. You are debugging a release candidate of Cake.Visual Studio using just my code with release builds using compiler optimizations results in. I wasn't aware of doing that. Can I just say continue debugging? I'm just going to say continue debugging. Okay, so let's use this one. This was the test project solution that we were using before. Stevie's asking, how much dollars do I win for getting this to work on my first try? I don't know. I don't know what you're working on. So I'm going to say a can of Iron Brew. How's that? How do you like them apples? Back in here, let's delete these. And then solution, add new project. So in here, if we search for cake, it's thinking. An exception of type. Oh, that's not good. No. The cake package did not load correctly. The problem may have been caused by a configuration change or by the installation of another extension. Have you just got updated as well? Have you just updated yourself? Bet you have. Installed. Eh? So confused. Why is Cake for 2022 installed on here? Updates. Cake for 2020. Don't update and don't update. In fact, uninstall that one. You know what? Let's uninstall that one as well. Don't save. Listen, all I want to do is test this to work, make sure it works. Where was that path that Nils was talking about? Over here. See, seriously? See, users, step 13, map data, local, Microsoft, Visual Studio. this one. Extension. That. Oh, okay. Delete that. And then roaming, Microsoft, Visual Studio, Elemental. Now 17, is that 2022? Or is that, which one's which? There's nothing in there. Nothing in there. You know what, let's just get rid of them all. Microsoft, Visual Studio, Elemental, extensions. Okay, try this again. So we're running the 20 Visual Studio, and I'm going to say start. Okay, so this one is spinning up 2019. So it's good that I went back and did the 16 experimental instance as well. So as soon as this loads, I'm going to go to that extension and make sure to undo. This is an issue with the version number. Definitely, we need to make sure that when we're building it locally, I think we do want to set that version number to be higher so it doesn't automatically move it to another version. So that maybe is something we need to do. What are you doing? Oh, hold on. I don't really trust that this is doing. Hold on. I don't really trust that that's. I'm going to close Visual Studio completely. So now there's an update for Visual Studio Code as well. Something like year, month, day. Oh, for the local build, you mean? Oh, that could be useful. Yeah. Or are you talking for the extension in general? Yeah, I was just thinking of just using git version to assert it. And then the final part of the build number could be a date. Yeah. What is this thing doing? I'm tempted to hit the cancel button. I clicked it, but nothing's happening. I clicked it, but nothing's happening. What's this thing doing? Okay. The cancel button didn't work, but the X at the top did. Sorry. Let's try this again. So file, recent projects, this one. Okay, so let's do sanity check to make sure that we don't have the cake. See, it is still there. I want to uninstall it completely. We'll get there. That wasn't, yeah, that wasn't even the experimental instance. That was just the locally running instance. Come on. I wanted to be able to push this by now. There we go. Let's go back to our actual instance of 2019. And then we'll start an experimental instance which should have the extension installed, and we need to quickly make sure that we don't update it. And then we should be back to a known starting point, he says. Manage extensions, installed, cake's not there. Right, happy days. File. And thank you very much. I like it too. I like my hat. I have a couple. I fluctuate between this and a couple of other ones, but this was tonight's one. So if we start this one, this was the hat was my present to myself when I visited the Microsoft campus in Redmond. I thought I need to get something, so I bought a hat. Okay, so if this spins up the experimental instance of Visual Studio, we'll quickly go in and make sure that it's not going to auto-update the extension out from under us. And with that in place, we should then be able to test out the creation of the project templates. And if that works, then we can ship it. It's getting a bit late in the day now. I thought we had time to do it, but now it's getting a little bit close to call. Where's extensions? Extensions, manage extensions, installed, cake. Okay, it's remembered. Okay, so it's not updated it. Good. So we've still got the old one. So if we go and delete these previous attempts, and we make sure in this folder structure that the files are gone from the file system, which they are. So we do solution, add new project, and we're going to look at our templates. I'm going to search for cake. I'm going to search for cake. We're going to search for cake. There we go. And we click on add in, we click on next, click on create. Looking promising. Okay, cake add in, got a packages.config file. Beautiful. Let's do the other ones. Add new project. We'll come up here, we'll search for cake again. Let's do the unit test. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's adding all the NuGet packages, look. So add in tests, it's got a packages.config file, has those things, and has references, good. Right click, add new project. Up here, search for cake. I'm not ignoring the link you sent, Maurice. I'll get back to that in just a second. But if I do forget, remind me. In fact, while that's doing that, oh, look at that. So this is what Maurice has been busy printing tonight. Look at that. Pretty cool. So do the tires turn? Do they turn? Do they? Do they? Oh, nice. Love it. Packages.config, it's got that, and it's got references. Happy days. And then the last project, add new project. Up here, search for cake. And then the last one, the cake module, create. And then this one has the packages.config file, and then it has references to cake.core. Okay, so that looks good. The other one that shouldn't have changed is if we do add new item, cake build script, cake, yes, overwrite it, it's still there. So that explains that one. Now there was one other file though, or one other project. Which one was it? GitHub, organizations, cake VS. I remember there being 6 items in the V6 manifest. There was item template, a second item template, which is the solution item template. What's that? Add new item. If I search for cake here, what does it show up? What is the solution item template, Nils? Do you know? Solution item template. 2 things that go into the item template. One is the item template, and the one is the solution item template. So we go to Solution Explorer, templates. Item template has a build.cake file in it, and this has a build.cake file. Or maybe it depends on where you add it from. So I added it at the solution level, but if I add it at, yes, here, add new item, talk to you later, Stevie. Yeah, so it's here. Okay, so there's item template for the cake script at both the solution level and at the normal item level, so that makes sense. Marisa saying also the doors open, the head tips over, and the mountain thingy moves as well. So these doors open, head tips over, and then the mounting bit. Very cool. Like it. Pretty snazzy. Good choice. Good choice. Okay, so all of that works there. The only thing that we didn't verify was that the item templates work in 2022 as well. There's no reason to think that they won't because we didn't move those. But let's just do a sanity check to make sure. So if we minimize all these things and we do add new item, Then we've got a cake build script. Sure. Solution items. It's got a build.cake in it. And then if we do here, add new item, build.cakes there also. Good to go. Okay. So, what are your thoughts, Nils? Should we ship it? I think we've done everything we need to. What was the issue number? GitHub.com/cake build cake. Yes. Nils is saying yes. I want to go with it. So if we look at what we've done, made quite a few changes here. So let's do all of these ones first, where we move the templates around. So let's do all of these deletions. And then 32-bit versions. Let's do this. So this was for 140. This one, yeah, 140. Move existing templates folder. Created a 32-bit folder to house the existing template folders so that we can have different templates for each Visual Studio extension. Commit that. Then in here, let's take all of the 64-bit stuff, and then for 140, copied templates to 64-bit folder so that we can start creating new 2022 specific version of the templates, where only thing that is different is the repository ID in the manifest file. Annoying that this has to be done, but hopefully only temporary until we switch to using different template. Do that, and then commit what we're doing here. Why is that changed? Oh, that's the generated v6. That really should have been in the last commit, or a few commits ago. We changed it in the manifest file, but it never made its way through into the .cs version of it. So that should have been in the last commit, really, for the last release. But that's all good. Let's just say, let's do all this as a updated project files with new locations, added references to newly created projects and updated existing ones, went through and tested project creation in both 2019 and 2022 instances, and all seems commit. Okay, so let's time to YOLO this. So git status, not quite what we wanted. Git state, really? How many times can you write git status wrong in different ways? So we're going to do, so if we go over here and we say that this is done, what we should be able to do then is build PS1 target equals release notes. Forget what we called it. Don't think it was that actually. GitHub.com cake build processes. Don't think it was that. But I think we updated the documentation to make it correct. So it was create release notes. Create release notes. Close, Nils. We should add aliases for each of these so that whatever we think it is, it continues to work. A release for milestone already exists, right? But why are we not on 042? Why is it not asserting that we're on? Tools, git version. Calculated semantic version is that. Why is the calculated semantic version that? Oh, I know why. No, I don't. Git tag. No, I do. Git fetch upstream. That's better. And then if we go into here and we go and nuke that, then we run again. Try that. Hopefully that will now assert the right version number. Yes, there we go. So then if we go up to here and we look at releases, we should have a draft one for this one, which is the one that we're just doing. So git checkout master, git reset hard, git where we go, git checkout master, git merge OFF from the hotfix branch, git push upstream, git push origin. Just reading my notes here to make sure that this is what we wanted it to do. Git checkout develop, git merge NoFF, the hotfix branch, git push upstream, git push origin, git branch -d hotfix, git branch. Got those things left. We do ci.appver.com and we go in with our GitHub account. Then hopefully there's some stuff happening here. That failed the build because of myget. We never took that out in this release either. We need to fix that too, so that we're not doing the myget publishing. But that's fine. So that should have updated this issue number with some commits. It did, good. And then assuming all of that goes well, we should be able to build again with the tag. And if all of that goes well, we should then be able to log into the Visual Studio Gallery. So copy link address, paste that into here. In here, we should be able to, I don't know that, this is what tripped me up last week. This looks like the website is finished, but if you scroll to the right, then the publish extensions is over here for some reason. Don't know why. Now in here, I'm going to pull this off screen just so I can log in with, actually let's close that and go to an incognito window so that there's no fighting between it. I'm going to grab this guy and I'm going to say publish my extensions, and I'm going to paste this guy, and then here I'm going to search for this guy, copy this one, put it into there. Nope. Okay, so now we're back to here. So then we have our two extensions, one of which is Cake for Visual Studio and one of which is Cake for Visual Studio 2022. If we go back to our instance over here, then that build succeeded. So we can do a publish, which will submit the tag. And if that succeeds, we will be able to upload it into the thingy-mabob, the Visual Studio Marketplace. One of the things we would like to obviously do is to fully automate all of this stuff. But with the change to have two V6s now, there's some changes that are required to the build process to allow that publishing to happen. So for now, it's a manual final step once the artifacts have been added to push them up to the Visual Studio Marketplace. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollows.com. No, thank you. Maurice, are you still around? Can you do the needful on that one? Please. Look at that. Thank you very much. Look at that. Cute. Thank you. Okay, so now if we click on this one, we've got 5 minutes left. So if we look at artifacts and we download this guy and we download this guy, then we should be able to go over here and we should be able to click on this one and say, how do we do it again? No, it wasn't that. It was click on edit, wasn't it? GUI is not the best. Yeah, so we click on edit. And then up here we click on edit package. And then in here we browse to see GitHub, organizations, cake build, cake VS. No, I'm going completely the wrong place, because what I want to use are the assets we just downloaded. So what we want to do is edit package, downloads. There's multiple of them. Let's get to a clean place. Let's clean up some of this stuff. You know what? Let's just delete a bunch of these things. So we're back to. You know what? Do it again. Right. So assets 2019, 2022. back to here, edit, downloads 2019, opening, don't think we need to change anything, 042, happy days, and save and upload. Verifying, if we do this one, click on edit, this is the 2022 one, we click on edit, we click on this guy, there we go, and then we click on save and upload. Really? Taxis? There's one, there's one, there's one. I made the joke last week with it, is this an Uber? I thought it was hilarious. I still think I'm hilarious. Taxis again, yeah. Okay, so now if we go over to here and we go extensions, let's uninstall this one again. I'm gonna uninstall it and I'm gonna reinstall it from scratch. It's like 9 people using it. There's only a few of us on the stream that would actually make use of it, so maybe there's a couple other folks using it, who knows. I haven't done a blog post about it yet. I need to do a blog post about the support as well as some release videos. I just haven't had time to sit down and do that yet. Need to clear up some time on the schedule. Got a few different videos in the pipeline. I haven't started any of them, so don't get excited. But I do need to get to them at some point. So open up Visual Studio for the last time today, hopefully. And then if we do extensions, manage extensions, and we search online for cake, there are none. That's a little bit concerning, given that there are lots of them, or there's at least one. A little bit concerning. Online cake. No cake. The cake is a lie. I'm going to assume it's because it's going through this process, but that's a little bit worrying. Oh, okay. Let's do view extension 9042. Okay. So now if we go back to here, still saying nothing for cake. Oh, of course. Now it appears. So now we say download. And now we, really. Modify. I think we also need to update these instructions because the Visual Studio extension now works with cake.tool as well, but we've still got only information about installing it with Chocolatey. So I think we can modify that README at some point as well. Our pictures are still working, which is good. So this should be the last time. So then if we do file, recent projects and solutions, console app, and then in here if we say reload, yes. Then we can delete some of these. Just thinking, delete this, and we delete this. Then if we go and do folder, delete the things, delete the things, add new project for the last time tonight, next, create, and boom. Okay. And then sanity check that the build script is still working as well. Happy days. Right. And we're done. Okay, so we have succeeded tonight, a night well spent. As a bit of a recap, we spent the evening figuring out what we needed to do to make the Visual Studio extension for Cake in 2022 work with the project templates that we had. We introduced a bug in 041 where the project templates no longer worked because they were inexplicably coupled to the original ID of the extension, and we changed that in 041 to make something else work. So we fixed that. It's a kind of an interim solution because ideally we would want to have project templates that are consistent across VS Code, Rider, and Visual Studio, and any other thing that we come up with. So Nils and I are going to have a conversation about that at some point in the near future, and then hopefully come to a decision about what we want to follow there. So the thing that we've just done tonight we'll probably rip out, but I think it was necessary to have a working solution in the extension that we have published, and then in the 050 release we'll look to doing other things. So for now, I'm going to say that I'm done. I'm happy to have got that concluded tonight. So thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to say that that's all I've got. So thank you very much. And I will talk to you on the internet. Bye-bye.